What's going on, traders? How you guys doing? I'm ready to have a 1 hour special. Are you? Let's go ahead, drop your stocks in the chat. We're going to be going through some stocks that I've been watching today. Then we'll go to stocks from you guys out there. Today is the day. Can Money Mitch get through 50 stocks? Let's go. Let's go. Sound that alarm. Let's go. Let's go. Hit it. Hit it. Let's go, Money Mitch.
It's time for Money Making Mitch. When investors need a story, we're going to the moon. Welcome to Money Mitch, where story is everything. I'm here to find you the next opportunity. It's all about the green hands. Now we all know the bull market is here to stay. Money Mitch.
What's going on out there, team? Who's ready to go ahead and get into it right here? 50 stocks. I'm ready. Got to represent the heat because we're bringing the heat today. Let's go. Let's go. If you guys got a stock, drop it in the chat. I want to see 50 stocks rolling because I got to get through 50 stocks anyways. Let's go ahead. Let's check out the market and see what we got today. Let's go ahead. Let's jump right in it. The SPY, guys, getting closer and closer to my red zone. Today, I talked about that 440 being that important level because of the weekly running into the 25th. That week of March was the second week that we were getting that week on up. Now this is the second week down. We could break down all the way and kind of give back these gains. And it's crazy to think that we were just back at 456, now back down there to 437. Rough close there too. As you guys can see, a lot of selling coming in there, imbalances hitting the tape there. But we'll see what happens in the SPY. Today, energy leading the way there, actually getting on up there. It's the only one I have that's in the green and green from the open. So definitely energy is where we wanted to be trading today. If we were trading to what? The upside, right? And that's important, is being with the sector. It's in the industry analysis and knowing where the herd is so that you can catch that trade also. So today, XOM, good setup, right? One of the things that's important is, let's say if you're seeing energy lead really early into the market, one of the things you want to be looking at is, does it have a daily setup to give you that extension on up? And so perfect example is here on Exxon Mobil. It does have a daily setup to get you through that resistance here through 87. That's what we talked about yesterday. Now let's start taking a look here on the hourly and into the intra chart. Let's do a little technical analysis here on XOM. And one of the things that I'm going to draw is how you can attack this right out the gates here, guys, because it's not it's always important, looking at the moves. You're seeing that push, you get that early candle, right? That gives you the signal. We are looking for the push above 87. You don't need to catch that first move. To catch this move, what you want to be looking for is the retrace levels, right? And so today I'm going to go into a little bit more of the fibs. I normally don't go too in depth on this, but I'll do it on this chart. It was a perfect fib retracement here. What you want to do is you want to draw it from the low of the move into that breakout, and you can see we broke out into this high here where we got up towards 87.63. Now, if you go ahead and you retrace that, what are you going to be looking for? You're going to be looking for it to come into the 50 and the 61.8, the golden ratio. Somewhere in between there, we're going to look to try to get that entry fill. And so you can see here, if you draw that, that's going to be this area here. This is between the 50 and that 61.8. And you can see it comes back right at this 87 spot, right where we were looking for what? The daily breakout level. So it's important. Why? Because when you get those breakouts, you're looking for what? A throwback. When it comes back, catches that, and then boom, rockets right back on out. This is the way I like to trade breakouts. Important to be looking for not only the breakout, but you're looking for the retracement to that throwback. And then if you can go ahead and use what? Multi-time frame analysis here, you're using an intraday fib retracement level, and it's matching up with that daily level, gives you that confidence that, yeah, boom, I want to jump in here. Let's go for it. Let's get that right back on up through that 87 and then getting that back up there to the high of the day. That's what you're looking for in this trade. And you can see here, we're going to show you how it would have turned out on XOM. And let's say you got in there around the 87, maybe right below it. This candle actually went towards a low there of 86.94, really close, right underneath that 87 level. Recovery here, it even tests down right to that same level, and then boom, you get the breakout towards the high of the day here. You could have been taking profits back up here, and that's the trade right there. That's not a bad trade, even if you just ride it to that high of the day. You could be looking for that continuation breakout, but just kind of describing how you could have been trading that XOM on the break there. Let's go ahead and catch up with the chat here. What's going on, guys? It looks like Brent's in the house. It looks like we got a bunch of stocks rolling in. That's what I want to see. Who's ready for 50 stocks? I went over oil, but now you guys are going to take control of the show. Mad Notes, what's going on? Let's do this. We got Aaron in the house. What's going on? We got Easy. Let's keep it going. Spy in the house. Chris bringing in a steel stock. I love it. That's what I like to see. Daniel, Summit, Juicy Trades. Jay, well, let's go ahead and nail some of these stocks. What's your status today? Bearish or bullish? Well, I'll tell you right now, I've been overall bearish on the market, but trying to ride waves on up, right? And in the last 3 week wave up, I was a little bit cautious because I was wondering if we were going to come back down here. Now that we're kind of in this chop zone, one of the things that I've been looking at is, of course, just riding the momentum that we have, not trying to just keep playing. And a lot of it, what I've been seeing is the continuation patterns right now just aren't paying out. So just be careful. What I'm looking for more is those range bound moves where I'm catching support into the resistance and selling at that resistance. Not so much always looking for the boom, because right now we're not getting it in so many stocks. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to start taking the stocks from the chat. Poof, daddy. Let's go. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. All right, Netflix is the first one I'm seeing here from Quantum. Netflix. Let's go. Let's get what we got here. All right. Daily levels have it coming on down there towards the 341s right now. Let's go back into the monthlies, see if we can find some support here. You could draw kind of a trend line here, looking to catch that back on there. So the big level for me, I think you start looking down closer towards the support here and the resistance, and you know that you're stuck in that area. You can see here how it tried to fight into that resistance and find some support there, and it couldn't. Now you're running into the next level of support. I would be looking somewhere down towards that 300 level if I was looking for a long-term entry, closer towards this 256. Maybe start sizing in somewhere between the 300 and the 256 area, and then you kind of work your position in it if you're looking for a longer-term position. That's how I would approach this stock. I'll tell you why, because I'm looking at AMD, and AMD is one of those that's getting really close towards my buy-in. I have a monthly support that I want to see it run into. It's going into this resistance, and then we're going to watch it go into the 61.8 level. And we talked about how I like the golden ratio, that 50% and 61. Somewhere between the 89 and the 73 level is where I'm going to start trying to add in to AMD. Kind of a similar approach to Netflix, but just calling that out. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep it going. Let's get into some stocks out there. I'm seeing a lot of them come in here. Twitter now. Let's go with Twitter. All right, Twitter coming on back here. And it was interesting on the daily. You know, we kind of drew the retracement levels. And look how this one came right into what? The golden ratio here, the 50% and the 61.8. Twitter's gap up. If you just draw it right there to the gap up, where do you get the retracement? Right around this 44.90 area. And so this is the area that it has to hold. We came back right back into that buy zone. And you can see you've been in this buy zone multiple times. You don't want to see it get back down there to 40 because then it'll crack the pattern there. All right, let's keep going. Let's go to SPY here. AMC and ATER, you're not holding back, and neither am I. So let's keep going through here. I see over 179 people in here. Please smash the like, guys, if you guys are enjoying me going through all these stocks. I'm going to try to get through 50 of them. And who's keeping account? It looks like I've already gotten through about like 5 or 6. Let's go ahead. It's only 4:11. We need to go ahead and catch up. All right, let's take a look here. AMC here coming on back. Let's take a look at the weekly levels, see where we can find some support. I actually want to delete all lines here. I know I've made some gains in AMC before, But let's take a new approach to AMC. What are we seeing here? So let's go towards the monthlies. Let's find some real support here around the 515 area. You can see you have a couple of wicks down there, but you are finding supports there. So the big thing here is that we are starting to see an attempted breakout and now a pullback towards that line. So you can see here how we wicked on up in March, and we pulled on back towards the line now. Now we need to go ahead and find some support here near the 18s, because we're getting right north towards that 15 level. We don't want it to get it touched again. We want to find some 18 support here, get back up through the 20s and start making an attempt run through this weekly high and going back towards 30. So let's take a look at the daily. What are we seeing here? We're seeing kind of a rounding bottom attempt here. We need to see a nice candle form up towards that 20 to give us that confidence. Okay, so now we can use that 18 as the support and look for the next ride on up. Like always, do your own investment decisions, but that's just how I see AMC. Let's go to ATER there. ATER pulling on back there. Even though it had a nice run today, we were calling these levels on out, and we could see this nice breakout. We played it on live trading, so I don't want to go too much. If you want, you can take a look at how that was traded. That was traded live. That was by Zunaid. You guys can check that out. That was on options. But ATER, nice day today. I think that was VERU today. ATER was the day before. But let's go ahead. Let's take a look here. As you're seeing this pullback, one of the things that I would do is I'd look at the hourly, look at the trend that it was in, right? It did kind of these pops, pennant, pop, pennant, pop. And so now you're kind of seeing that same kind of pattern. You want to see this 527, 537 hold and it come back up through 6, giving you that strong signal that it wants to get back through the highs and maybe take out this 637 up here towards the 640s and 650s. But first, it needs to hold the retracement. And you've already gotten You've gotten 1 move up, 2 moves up. You can look for that 3rd move. And if it holds that and holds around the, let's say 6, takes it out again on the upside, I'd be looking at ATER. All right, need to keep going through stocks and let's go. All right, we got to bring a little music into this because it's getting a little bit slow here. Let me go ahead and bring up a little music in here. You guys let me know if it gets a little too loud in the chat there. All right, let's keep this rolling here. All right, what do we got? We got GME being brought up in the chat. Might as well just cover it. We just took a look at AMC. Look at the weekly. I'd watch this 9 EMA to hold around the 130.90s. You got out of this range here. You want to hold that on the pullback, come back up through this 155, 150 area. For right now, it looks like it just ran into that, tried to push above 150. I'd look for one more quick swoop down closer towards this 130.90, maybe even closer to right here, 129.95, because you can see that body right there, and then taking back up there towards the 181s. But if you see GME, of course, back towards 181, look also at AMC. All right, Chris bringing in one. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look. Steel Dynamics. This is one of my favorite ones. We've been watching it since it broke out of this range here. And this was one that we brought on Money Mitch in January 5th is when we were starting to watch this. Look how this ended up coming through there and really breaking on out here. So now we've been seeing this kind of pullback and breakout again. We're looking for that extension back above 89s. Let's take a look at the daily level. What do you guys see here? Kind of that cup and pattern here. So here you guys have it where it tried to push on up, making that rounding look here. But to tell you the truth, it is slowing down a little bit on volume. But you want to see here, the MACD kind of give you that lead and cross back on over. If that could happen through the 90s, then boom, you can start seeing this continue on there. Let's take a look at the 15-minute. What do we see today? We see that it's just kind of keeping the trend right now. If you take a look at the hourly, you could draw an hour uptrend here, and you can see how this has been just holding the trend on up. Let's see if it takes out that 90 and keeps going towards that 100. Another one, of course, is X to watch with steel, STLD. Today, you got a nice pop, and then it pulled back here on the hourly. We're going to look for another pop in steel on Monday. All right, let's keep going. Let's get into some other stocks. I want to catch up with the chat. I see a lot of comments flowing through there. Appreciate you guys hitting the like. Let's keep it going. Miss C, let's go. All right. Look like the Qs being brought up in the chat. The Qs are kind of bottoming out right now. It's trying to get through that 337 level. That's the downside crack level right there, that 337 73s or 75s. If it gets through there, watch out, because it easily could be back down there through the 330s and heading towards 300 on the Qs. We got to be careful, especially in the tech. All right, let's go. Let's go. Smash it on up. Great trade on SXC. You rock, says Silvio. Let's go ahead and take a look at that one. I'm still in that one, guys. I just want to let you guys know, full disclosure, I'm still in this coal trade here. This was a cheaper name, and I just wanted to call it out because the pattern just looked so good. We were watching this on the daily level, looking for the push through 9. Now you're seeing that push. There you guys see a close up there towards 973. We gave this one also on the Benzinga Pro widget trade ideas. So check that out, guys. If you guys haven't before, you guys can go and check that out. That's at pro.benzinga.com. But definitely a nice push here through the high. We're going to look for the continuation through $10 here. And if it can get through 10, next level on up for us is going to be, if you look back here on the monthlies, that's what you want to go ahead and start using here, is an 1126 resistance. So we're going to look for the push through 10, maybe getting on up there through 11 in one day, and then taking some profit, because now once we get through that 10 level, we'll have a 10% winner on this, and we're going to make sure that we take that 10% win there. All right, let's keep going, and that's what I'm going to be doing. I hope that you guys are able to go ahead and just learn from the pattern, how I attacked it, and go through that level, and then just based on the chart, boom. What do you want to see? Also, nice confirmation, just to give you guys some kind of look. I don't trade off the MACD, but I look for confirmation all the time. You want to see that crossover happen there on that breakout day. And look how this happened right there. Boom. It didn't give us it there. Where does it give us? It gives us that nice sign into it. Nice confirmation the day after. That's why it's lagging. And that's why a lot of people say that they don't like technical analysis. But what I use it more is for confirmation of the trade. A lot of times I'm going off support, resistance, and trend lines more to keep it simple for the entry. Then we're going to be looking for these indicators to show us that strength, right? Another one that you guys can be using that I kind of had put in here is, you guys see here, this is called the Chaikin money flow on the top side here. This is this light blue line. You could also use the MFI index. That's the money flow. And so the Chaikin money flow is more of an intraday indicator for stocks. Now, the money flow index is more off of kind of a slower data, and so it's more off the daily. And so what I look is for the blue to be a little bit smoother and for that light blue line to lead me in quick rallies. So now you're seeing that bottoming action here. I would like to see the blue line cross back on up to see that extension back on up. Like similar how you guys see here, where the light blue line comes back down and then crosses it through here, and then you see that real peak come right after that. That's what I'm going to be looking for in SXC. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit more of kind of indicator looks and how we look at that early into the show. Now let's go ahead and keep up the pace. NTR, let's go. I think I got about so far 15 stocks. Let's keep going. Let's get towards 20. It's about to be 420. You guys know what time it is. It's time to turn our lights green, baby. 420, anybody? 420? Who's going to the Cannabis Capital Conference in Miami, in Fontainebleau? I hope that somebody out there is going to the Capital Conference. That's going to be happening next week. I won't be there, but I hope that you will. I'll be, kind of running the shows here, like always. Let's keep it going. All right. I had to have myself a little bit of fun. 420 time. Nike being brought up in the chat. Nike having a great day today, bouncing off that 130. Coming into near resistance. So just be careful because there is some resistance up here. And so I would be looking to see if it can get back through that 140 level, maybe a day 2 move where you get that push up there towards that 138, maybe slightly above, and then a pullback. That's what I'll be looking to see if Nike can continue running. All right, like always, when you're looking at these stocks, take a look at some other ones that have maybe been running. Skechers started moving, and Foot Locker was moving off of that Nike sympathy. All right, let's keep going. NEE. I want to keep going at fast pace here. Nextera turning around there, but pulling back towards the 200-day weekly, 200-day daily level and the 9 EMA here. That's where I would be looking for it to catch a little bit of a bounce here as you're pulling on back here towards the support. You could test down this daily gap here, so just be careful if you do get into that gap zone. That's around 80.96. Right now, you'd want to find it, catch that 200-day, and go right back towards that 85. Duke has been one that's also been slightly turning around on the utilities. Be careful, because if you see Duke turn around, it could also show you that NEE is a danger one. So let's go ahead. Let's keep it going. Alex Tweaker with Apple. Let's go, Missy. Happy Friday. AAPL. I'm trying to keep up the announcer style kind of stock flow here. Let's go. All right, Apple breaking hard through that 170.26, guys. A little part of me needs to start using that level more often, because that is a huge level here for Apple. It's been like that for a while now, that it either uses it as resistance or uses it as a rejection from the breakout back above it. And you can see that rejection today, and actually gets below this move on Monday, showing us a real bearish sign here in Apple. Let's go. Let's go. Hit the like, guys. Over 195 in here. I only see 50 likes. Can we get it to 100? I want to keep going through stocks, but I need you guys to support me. All right. SFMFL here. Smart for life. Hey, if you want to bring the $1 stock, I'll take a look at it. I'm not going to worry about it here. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the weekly. So what I would do on a stock like this is I'd draw an upper side resistance and I draw a bottom side support. Whichever way it's going to break out, I'm going to go ahead and trade it that way, versus trying to decipher, hey, do I get it here? Do I get it there? No, what I want to do is I want to trade it on the breakout or the breakdown. So a clear example is just draw yourself some lines and be like, okay, I can go short here below the .80 or above the 132s. I could go long. We'll see what happens on that one. Juicy trades. VERU, can it really go to 30 mRNA when it was at 30 and sold at 40? I'm kicking myself. Hey, it happens. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look here. VERU up there towards $15 today, guys. That one actually went up towards a high there of $17.50. And what I would be looking at VERU is looking at the hourly charts to show you that, okay, we want to make one more run, one more attempt. And a lot of times you get stocks that love to do about 2 or 3 moves here. And that's because of the fibs, because you get that one and the Elliott wave also. You get that one move, you get that two move back, you get that third move, you get that pull back, you get another push. I think this one could potentially get to 20. But how do you kind of measure that out? And what could you use? You could use what's called a Fib extension. So let's use a Fib projection here. And so we're going to do right there, projection of the last flag pattern. So you measure the flag, and that's the important part. There, it's going to go ahead and give you the retracement levels. Look how we retraced here. We retraced into the kind of nice retracement of that 38.2. Now you could see up here towards the extension, 161. That's where it gets up to, and it gets up to 19. So that would be my top side target there. You could look for more, but for me right there, that 161 around 19 is where I'd be looking for the profits. Let's say if I was looking for that massive gain there. But like always, choose your own reward there. All right, let's keep going. Zinger Mitch, let's go. Got to run. Hey, hope you have a good one, Miss Whitehorse. Let's keep going. What's going on there? Black Maids, let's keep it going here. Daniel, INTC, let's go. All right, INTC coming down there towards the 45.70 levels. Let's take a look at the weeklies. Weeklies are coming down there towards 45. That's going to be the level to really pay attention. Do we crack below this, around this 44.60s, 44.50s mark? If we can crack below there, then you can get down towards the next level, and there's a big crackdown after that. If you take a look here on the monthlies, looks like you have a huge support closer to, I'd be paying attention towards the 44.20s, 44 mark, because after that, the crack is towards 38.50s. So just be careful. You could find some support. And to tell you the truth, it doesn't look like the biggest bullish chart to me, but like always, make your own investment decisions. All right. Is the SPY looking for a reversal? Who knows? Twitter looking like a possible cup and handle. Hey, hope it keeps going. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at charge point being brought up here. Charge point, not a bad one to take a look at. Is pulling on back here. I was wondering where we're going to catch support today. Did not catch support at that 1604. And for that being mentioned, another one that I was watching to see if it was going to catch a nice rip was QS, and it also pulled back. So just be careful on those EV components. It doesn't seem like they're trying to run just yet, but always bring in the heat. Let's go, Ali. What do you got for me? Upstart? Let's do it. Upstart pulling on back there towards the 80s. This is one that could take out the lows and keep coming on back down there towards 45. It maybe even gets back there towards the IPO. So you never know when this can keep dropping. And one of the things that you can clearly see is this looks like a huge head and shoulders. If you take a look here, let's say this would be the shoulders, guys, and that would be your head up here. So just be careful because it could break this and keep coming on down here. That's Upstart. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep it going. Of course, always good vibes. Let's keep it going. Richard, easy. How you doing out there? Hertz bringing up OLN here. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look here. OLN, nice little breakout there. I like that level here. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look here. You can see how you pushed on up here. One of the things that's important, we talked about it, right? When you get that breakout, look how this breaks on out, then comes back the next day below it, then breaks above it, and then what do you get? Boom, this kind of action right around that trend line. Look for those pullbacks right to it, and then look for that extension right back above it. Look how that kind of pulls back, gives you that little jabby step, boom, then really starts holding that move. And then now you're really starting to see that upside. Where do you start seeing some first resistance? I could clearly see right around this 58.79, 58.80 level. We should run into some resistance, and look how clean this looks. You guys just saw me do this live. I drew that line. Look how this comes right to that 58.77, 58.79, right to that line. And that's why it was rejecting up there. It was just a level resistance. If you can draw those out, you're going to be able to see them come into play. Now we'll look for that level above the 59 to really hold and close up there. All right, let's keep it going, guys. 217 people here. You guys know where you guys are at. Do me the favor, guys. Drown me in likes, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Hit up the likes. Can we get to 100? Let's go. All right. Let's go. Let's see what we got on out there. Who's got the diamond hands? I want to see them. Throw them up in the chat. What you got for me? All right, let's go ahead. And any cannabis stock lovers? It was 420, right? All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep going. AG brought up by Morton. Bring in the silver here. Let's go. How do I find silver stocks? Let's do it. So what I'd do is I'd look up basic materials. I'd go really quickly into silver, and I'd see, okay, so what are the biggest capitalization stocks in silver? And we're bringing up what? AG. AG is the second one on the list here, and we're looking for an extension back above 1436. We watched this move happen here. We were looking at this when? We're looking at this on April 13th, right? And so that was just yesterday. We were looking for an extension back through 1436. There's a huge resistance right there. You can see we kind of held it today. We're going to look for that extension back on up here. One of the things that I would draw is a resistance line here. You can see how you got above it, then you cracked below it. Now look for that to clear and then hold that on any pullback, which is 1427 AG. MAG is another one you guys can watch in silver. Look how this one has been taking off. I do like this look here. If you take a look at the weekly, you're going to see how you're coming into play into this trend line. I think you have this move up here towards the 20s. So take your eyes on MAG, especially if silver keeps making that lift. All right, just wanted to give you a little bit of extra. Coin being brought up by Jamie. There you go. Let's get into coin here. Coin just looks like a falling coin, like literally just hammered, man. Hammered coin has been, man. Everyone's been trying to call the bottom on this stock. I'm not going to be one of those guys that call the bottom on this stock. This is why I've been saying that you got to be careful with coin, because it could keep coming down. It's $147 stock. It still has 147 points to go down if it wants to. Is it going to go to zero? I highly doubt it. But like always, one of the ones that I would be going for instead is maybe Hood, because at least on Hood, you only got 11 points of downside action versus 147 points that could potentially happen. I know that you crypto fans are looking for coin. I think it's just about maybe sizing in little by little. But like always, you're catching a falling knife. And with that, you could get stuck with the bag. All right, let's keep going. What do you see on there? Let's go ahead. We'll see critical support, 52-week low. Could keep coming down. I don't know where it's going to stop. That's the problem. All right, let's keep going. BTU and gold. Quantum wants to take a look at. Let's do it. BTU has honestly been one of my best ones, honestly, I think ever. The stock that I've been watching for a long time, just because I started seeing coal be strong. And, you know, we called out this 9 EMA mark right here on Monday to Tuesday. On Monday, after market, we were talking about, hey, look how the 9 EMA on this holds all the time. That's that light blue line, right? So I'm going to actually try to extend it up here and make it a little bit thicker so you guys can see it well. And so you see this light blue line. Look how every time we get below it, we've recovered it. So right here, a nice day where we cracked below it. Nice day where we cracked below it, recovered. I'm going to go here to the left here. Crack it. Every time we're recovering it, and we're recovering it well. It's been holding that pattern for a long time. Even before this, when it cracked up here towards, let's say, 28, pulled on back here, broke through the 9 EMA, closing 3 times, and then recovering it and doing a nice ride on up. Same thing happened here. EMA was working well. The 9 EMA works well with this stock. If anything, you can maybe go towards a 20, and you might find it right touching those lower wicks. So maybe use that, and you can see this. What does this mean, and why would we use the 9 EMA? Because this is a trending stock. And when stocks trend, we want to go ahead and use a moving average, guys. The reason why we want to use a moving average is because we're following the trend and we're riding that bad boy and continuing to ride it. So a lot of times some people ask me, how do I stay in a stock? How do I just watch it keep moving up? A lot of that is going to be determining maybe a moving average where you can use to say, okay, if I get 2 days below the moving average to close, I get out of the trade. If it's just 1 day, then you would have got shaken out a lot of times in BTU. I like to use that 2-day rule below the moving average, and then boom, I get on out. But like always, make your own risk assessment there, guys. But that's just the way I like to approach it. All right, let's keep going. Missy, you have a good weekend like always. I'm going to keep going. Brent, we ain't stopping here. 32 minutes in, 35. I don't know how many stocks I got in. I hope there's someone keeping count out there, but we're going through the 50. Let's keep it going. All right, I use the CMF. They're tiny. Hey, power to you. I don't blame you for using the CMF. All right, let's go. Let's go. Missy, got to have that green love. CGC brought up in the chat. Let's take a look there. Canopy Growth Corporation is going to be at the Cannabis Capital Conference. So I hope you guys are there checking out CGC. But let's take a look at the chart here. One of the things that I'd say about cannabis is just look at the monthly charts. The monthly charts is what I like about these charts. I kind of want to delete some of these lines, but I've had them since 2021 and stuff like that. So let me go ahead and try to kind of just, you know what? Let's just delete it. Let's take it all in for you guys here. All right. So the big thing for me is monthly support, right? And so monthly support it's coming back into is 490. And so that's kind of the level that I'd be looking for if it could come back into. But what is the range? Because there's a little range here. It's about 878 on the upside, and I'm looking for around $5, $6 on the downside. And so right now, let's take a look at the daily chart, see where we're at right now. And so you can see how we're bouncing up here. We've had about one down move, then that one up move below this. And so now we've had that second down move and a second up move. I'd be looking for that continuation down somewhere in this zone if I'm trying to measure into the trade, right? And then I'd be looking for, from that point, we want to go ahead and see the stock come down into that zone and then come right back on up there towards that 878, building up that consolidation for the breakout. That's what I'd be looking for in CGC. Let's keep it going. MDVL. Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's go. Here we have it. 277 here, pushing on up here. Med available holdings. And man, honestly, I kind of like this. I haven't taken a look at this stock trade here. And you can see here, one of the things that I like to see is sometimes you're going to get a lot of times where a stock does this. This is a lower float type of stock, right? Where you get a huge up move. A lot of times we're not going to capture that first move. Let's just be honest. It's just very difficult to get your scanner to hit, and then you get in it really quickly, right? And so what do you see? You just see a big spike up. What do we want to do? On that spike up, what are we going to tell ourselves? Can it come back down to a level and give me about an hour sideways consolidation? I look for that hour sideways consolidation. Why? Because a lot of times what happens there, right? So the 1 minute traders get in on the spike. The 2 minute, the 3 minute, the 5 minute, the 15-minute traders, they're all getting in on this hype. And then what happens? After about 4 15-minute candles, you had that hour sideways consolidation. A lot of times you'll start seeing the volume start leaking out of the stock. And then all of a sudden you see a ramp back. This is where you want to make sure that you're understanding the support on that sideways consolidation so that you can find the edge in this move. All right, so you can see here, what will we do? We see a pop up there towards 2. We want to draw the support. Where is the support? Okay, so I can see here, and I can see what pre-market resistance around the 148. So I wanted to see sideways consolidation somewhere in the support. Then what do you get here? Let's take a look at the 15-minute. Do we get those 4 candles? Look how this, when this comes back here, look at these 4 candles here. An hour of sideways consolidation. Look for the pop. Boom. This is a pattern that I've seen often, guys. It's a hard one to take. I'll tell you that right now. But another thing is the volume. The volume gives you that lead too. Look how the volume comes up. You're seeing 2 million shares. And all of a sudden, what do? You see no shares kind of traded here. Then the volume comes back on the breakout. I've seen this often, guys. I hope that you guys can find this pattern and are able to capitalize it. Like always, make your own investment decisions. But look at this. This pattern exists. Sideways consolidation. You'll see on the 1 hour chart. You'll see a sideways move on the 1 hour chart. And then explosion right back above that $2. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other ones. Tilray. I already looked at that one. Missy. I mean, I didn't look at Tilray, but I looked at cannabis overall. So, I mean, it's not the most exciting stock. Let's go to Missy here. She has HYMC, Highcroft Mining. All right. So this stock has been trying to get back on up, but holding the daily sideways consolidation. So the 185 keeps holding. That's a good sign for us because if you can get back on up there towards the 250, you could break out in this stock. So do I think this stock is going to have a breakout? I'm not going to go that far. But I will tell you that it is getting ready, and you're seeing that sideways consolidation, just like you saw here in the first pattern, right? So pop, sideways consolidation, holding support, then a catalyst comes out. Sideways consolidation, could be a nice pop going into it again. But like always, understand where your support is and if you need to get out of the trade. All right, let's keep going. I see a lot of stocks in the chat, but I need you guys to step it on up. Throw some more stocks in the chat. I've gone through about like 35. I need about 15 more. Let's go. We got 20 minutes left to do 15 stocks. Can we get there? NTR says, Austin, I want to go ahead and touch this up here. Nutrient here, agricultural inputs, nice lift there. We had a trend line drawn. When did we draw this? We drew this on April 7th. We're looking for that extension above. We were looking for a move back towards 110. We already got that move towards the 110 there. You can see how this 108 is holding on pullbacks. So this 108.43 is the level that I would be looking for it to hold on any pullbacks and give you that next extension. Now, what could you be looking for in the extension? I would be looking for a easier kind of measure is from this bottom towards the top here. And I got about $15, 15.65. So maybe 15 points from the breakout. So the breakout is right here where the blue line starts. So around maybe 105 going towards 120 on the upside. But like always, make your own target decisions, especially when you don't have levels. It's hard to determine it. But what I like to do is measure the flag and try to go off of that. And so another one you could do is, of course, you can measure this one right here towards this side if you want to kind of draw it as a pennant all the way up there. But let's see if this one can get up there towards 120. And it's in agricultural inputs in a good area right now. Let's take a look at the sector industry here. We've been talking about agricultural inputs and how they can take off. Look at this one taking on off. And what's another one in here that you want to see keep moving is MOS. So what do? You also watch some of the ones in the industry to show the relationship. Is there relative strength in the industry to continue seeing the stocks rise? All right, let's keep going. We got almost 300 people here, guys. I only see 87 likes, guys. Smash up that like. Let's go. Let's go. We need at least 150 likes. I need half of you guys to hit the like. Going through all these stocks, help me out. I need some water. You guys hit the like. When we return, we'll keep going through the stocks. I want to see some likes, so smash it on up.
I tell all my CEOs, this is a very, very, very important platform. And look, all the other platforms are important too, but you're up there now. You're way up there.
Best investments you can do in your future is actually go and re-educate yourself on credible sites and credible resources like Benzinga. I think you guys have been killing it.
The comment section on this show is remarkable. Like the quality of the combo, and just big shout out to you and your community.
So I love about you guys, you know, you just had all your callers in right then. And it's all about the community here at Benzinga.
Yeah. It's all about the community here at Benzinga. That's for sure. Let's keep it going here in the stocks. I talked about 50 stocks. I want to keep it going here. I do see some likes coming on in, so I appreciate that, guys. It's time to bust the piggy bank out, crack it open, and take some more stocks here. Looks like someone's bringing in the bros game. You guys know how I'm a bro. If you're a bro out there, throw up the one. I want to see some ones in the chat if you've ever had Dutch Bros. All right, Dutch Bros is one of my favorite stocks in the market. I've made some big money in Dutch Bros. Looking for this to start holding. If we're going to start getting a nice rally, and we are looking like we're holding this nice pullback here. So I'm looking around this 51.76 to hold here and start pushing back towards 55 for a breakout above 65. This is a really good stock. I want to keep an eye on it. It's in kind of a symmetrical triangle on the monthly. Needs to get out of the symmetrical triangle towards the 60 to give me that real confidence that we're going to have that explosion to maybe potentially getting up there towards, let's say, $80. One of the things that I think that is helping it is Starbucks completely out of favor here, guys. Nobody wants the boomer coffee no more. Starbucks, you're out of style, my friend. And they're talking about it themselves. Their founder coming back to the company, talking about what? That he needs to come back in to create an innovation in the company because guess what? It's an old brand. It's a dying brand in my eyes. And Starbucks coming down there. You guys seeing that also. You guys know the exposure to China that Starbucks has. So look at that to also play a factor with the lockdowns. All right, let's keep going. Let's get out of the bros. Brent, will y'all throw tomatoes at me if I ask Money Mitch to do INDO? Hell no. Let's go. But hey, there's some tomatoes there. Who's got the diamond hands? Let's go ahead. Let's take a look there. INDO. Indonesia Energy Group. Oh my Lord. Let's take a look here at this stock. Look at the hourly as you're getting this big pop. Let's take a look at the daily here. You can see how you ran into a trend line here, but the question is, will it continue to run? A lot of times when we get these pops, we don't see that continued run. We see a lot of the action kind of slow down. And you can see here, you do have some support that you can start using maybe around the 2075 level. And so that's kind of the level that I would start looking at around the 2075. Let's see if it pulls back towards that and you get kind of this red to green look on Monday where you get a big drop right out the gate, a wick there, and then it recovers really quickly up there towards 24 to take out the highs. Can this one keep running? It did get a lot of juice, but I'm sure this is a low float game, so it's going to need to continue getting that volume. So what would we look for on Monday? We'd look for high relative volume. So if this stock is trading right now around 9 million shares, 10 million shares, what do we want to see? We want to see a bar like this where it traded 23 million shares, doubling the volume of the prior day. Another thing to kind of take a look at is the lagging factors of the indicators that we can use. So let's say like the MACD here, you can see here how you're starting to point up here, but you still haven't crossed over. I would look for that crossover to happen if I was in the stock to continue giving me the high conviction that it wants to keep running. Another thing you can do is wait for the breakout to happen and then join the party. That's another way to take a look at it. INDO, and throw all the tomatoes you want. Let's go. Diamonds are forever. You guys know what it's all about. I'm not sure if you can hear this, but let's see. I'll play it. I'm not sure if my stream deck is working today. Sometimes it declocks, but let's go. Let's go. Snow being brought up here. Snow, let's go. Let's take a look at Snow. We're going to take a look at a bunch of software names right now that I see weak, right? So Snow had a negative catalyst, just broke through that 207. I would look for that 207 to hold on the upside for what? For shorts. This looks like to me like a stock that I would want to short, so I would look for that bounce back to that level and then looking to short off of that level, the 207, maybe using the 210 as my kind of out level, or 211. We'll see what happens in Snow. It does look like it's breaking down. Look at stocks like Unity. Look at Roblox. They all kind of look similar. Look at Unity breaking through the lows, looking like it wants to keep coming on down. Roblox here, looking like a very similar chart, right? Looking like it wants to break through the lows and continue back down to the low of the 52-week. This could also break down and keep coming on down, so just be careful with these three names. At least in my eyes, I'm going to definitely draw a warning flag here. All right, AMC held strong today. Gene, if you want to take a look at the AMC Outlook, go ahead and hit the rewind button. You'll be able to go ahead and check out AMC and GME coverage. We already went through it. Exponential, yes, that's the exponential moving average here. The big difference is there's simple ones and exponential. What's the difference? Is one holds the most recent data as more important. Key why it's an exponential weighted moving average, and that's what really matters there. All right, let's keep going. SE, let's go. All right, SE kind of pulling on back here. It's really hasn't done much. I would take a look at the monthly and wait for it to do what? The full 100% retracement all the way back down here. And once it gets to, like, let's say 43s, then you can maybe take a look at it. But for me, this just looks like a falling knife down there towards 42. All right, EGY, let's take a look there. EGY stock is pushing on up. Looks like we have a drilling here. Not a bad stock to take a look at. I've been watching BORR, so I can kind of understand why you're watching some of these. You can see how this long-term monthly is coming into play. Now you're going to go into an even longer-term resistance level. So this is where I'd be looking towards. If I was in this, let's say like at 5, I'd be looking at profits up here towards that 926. But I do think it could get up there, as you're seeing the continued drive. And now you're seeing what? 4 straight months up. Let's take a look at the daily. Daily level has a couple of attempts to get up high through this. And you can see here how you went up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3. Hold this as support from this point on. We're actually going to draw this line towards that level right there. You don't want to see that break on the downside. 685. I'd be watching for the continuation through the high of day. That's from Friday last week on the 8th. So let's see if it can break on through there, get through the 775 and continue making moves. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's go. Looking to get back into the bros. We'll see what happens on the bros. What number stock is Money Mitch on? I have to be at least at 50. If I'm not on 50, I'm gonna have to hurt myself because, man, my voice is starting to even go. Let's go. Tesla Dragons. Where are the Tesla Dragons at? We were watching to see if it can hold this trend line pullback. So this is very important. So you guys see here, this is what I'm looking at for it to kind of hold and get back on up. Let's see if Tesla can do that. It bounced once there and got back on up. It looks like it's coming back there again. That's going to be somewhere in kind of this 950 area. And we're going to look to see if it can catch a bounce there and get back up through the 1,000. That's what I'd be watching. Of course, take a look also. Tesla has other factors that could come out right now. So there's factors like, let's say, mentions of the semi-truck, or of course, mentions of the Cybertruck. Both of them catalysts that we should see come out driving the stock later in the year. When? I have no idea, to tell you the truth. But one thing is, I'll be watching the technical levels. All right, let's keep going. Facebook being brought up in the chat. The Meta. I think Meta is just one of those that you got to just keep watching to get back into levels that you could have bought it back into, like, let's say 2017, 2018. And there's nothing wrong with waiting for it to come back down, right? And so this has cracked big time here. And it looks like it's coming back down there towards further support. I would be looking more down here towards like 149 and the 180 range. Somewhere in between that range is where I think you're going to start seeing some support coming into this. So for right now, I'd be watching only downside moves on Facebook. And you can see here how you just did kind of this kind of dead cat bounce towards 230s. You could see one more little bounce towards that level before you get that real breakdown. But you can see how it's just stair stepping down right now after that kind of last push that you saw in Facebook. All right, let's keep going. Missy Miss, let's go. Dollar Tree says one. All right, let's go. I was looking at this one. I actually sold it this week on a swing trade, and this was one of our best trades of the week. If we would have kept it, it was an 11% move, continued going all week long here. This one was a great trade here, guys, that we got back here. And man, what a move there. Dollar Tree, what led this move, right? And where could it keep going? Let's take a look at first Dollar Tree and see where we're going to keep going. I would take a look at this flag pattern. You can see here about 25 points from the breakout. And where we're at right now, we're about 29 points from that breakout. So you can see this has been a big push here. And it could start turning around as you've seen what? 6 straight days there on Dollar Tree on up. And what led this? DG kind of gave us a little signal here on Wednesday, the 6th of April, that, hey, let's pay attention to that. We were looking for the breakout through this level, this nice resistance. It broke out. And what did that do? That made us look at Target and Dollar Tree for a breakout. Then Target broke out here on this Thursday, breaking on out there towards that Friday, and then now continuing that move is Target. What also gave us signals was Walmart was really strong here, guys. Target was actually off the support. If you take a look here, Target was actually down here closer towards the support during this time and then took off there. Not a bad play there on all these names. And another one that I gave was Ollie. And look at that one. Has continued to run since when? Since that 7th time that we were watching. We created this. We were looking for that pushback on up here, and you can see the discount stores took off. This is why I love doing sector analysis. You guys see it, right? So I was looking at Walmart, DG. They led the party, and then I jumped on Target, Dollar Tree, talked about Ollie. I didn't take it, but you can see there. Nice trades on up. This is why we want to do sector and industry analysis. Work backwards, not forward. Don't look for stocks that are trending. Look for sectors and industries that are trending, and then find those stocks in between. All right, let's keep going. I think I've done at least 50 stocks, but we have 5 minutes left. I got to go back and see how many stocks I've really covered. This has been amazing. Let's go ahead. Let's keep going. You guys hit the like. 114. Come on, give me the 150, guys. Support me, guys. We got about 297 people here. All right, SQ, the block trade looks like it's just about to block on back down here. Let's take a look here. I've called the red flag on these. It started coming back here, and you started holding some levels, but now you're holding it as resistance here. So when you broke back above, let's say right here, where you broke back above the 26.55, it was looking good. You could see here, what did you do? 1, 2 attempts, 3 attempts, hold support. You're going to look for that breakout on that 4th attempt. And what you do? You got a fake out breakout, and then it broke that level, coming back on down there, and now using that as resistance. So I would see, at least for me right now, it looking like it wants to come back down there towards 100 on Square. PayPal also really weak here, guys. It looks also like it wants to come back down through that 100 and going towards the 96. You saw the CFO leave in PayPal. It just doesn't look good here for these kind of names. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at some of the looks like Bitcoin names. MSTR being brought up here. Not a bad one to take a look at. Some Bitcoin names. You can see how this one's been holding. This one has been holding up relatively well compared to the other ones, right? Let's take a look at Riot, all the way back down, looking like it wants to take out the lows. Let's take a look at HUT. HUT is down there towards 443s. I remember when someone called me crazy because I shorted this stock at 14. Man, I should have been able to hold that one. Of course, I wasn't looking at this time range, and I didn't think HUT was going to come all the way back down here. But it is one of those that it's like, man, this one was trending, and I caught it right when it cracked. And it's kind of one of those crazy ones. Down there towards 4 now. Let's take a look at Mara, the favorite, right? This was a favorite for a long time. Broke out there towards past 70s. Is now at 21.25. It looks like it could break 20. If it breaks 20, watch out, guys, because it could be right back down there into, let's say, the 1572 area. So I'll be watching to see what happens in these Bitcoin stocks. All right, let's keep going. MTTR, James, I like you out there, man. Hit the like. Appreciate you. All right, you guys see MTTR. It kind of pushed back on up there. It gave you that nice ride on up. But guess what? The wave cracked, and since that, it's been out of favor and hasn't gotten back into favor. What would I do to see that come back into favor? Use like a weekly or a monthly and wait till you see a good green candle, some real strength to give you that drive back. You can see here on the monthly, sideways move right now. It looks like it wants to break on down. Could keep coming back down. This is one that you got to be careful. Sometimes it's okay to get rid of a bag, but like always, make your own investment decisions, guys. I just don't want to see people get crushed like always. So one of the things I always say is know you're out and how much pain you're willing to take before you go ahead and say, enough's enough. I'm out of this trade. All right, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and wrap on up with a couple more stocks here. I'm going to do 3 more here, and then I'm getting on out of here. Smash the like, guys, 302. You guys can rewind. I'm sure I hit at least 60 stocks today. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look here. Bases finding some support here on the monthlies. And so you can see sideways consolidation on the daily coming into play. It's trying to come back up through these levels. And so I'm actually going to delete some levels here so that we can pay attention and see what we see here on Macy's. So you can see here, let's go towards a weekly. It's going to be a little bit cleaner here. And you can see how we've been trying to break back above these levels. So what I'm going to call is up towards this high. This high is going to be very important. If we can get above that, I do think that you can see some continuation, but you could get some kind of fake out moves in the meantime towards 27. So I'm going to wait for 27.67 as it wants to start coming back through 30 for it to come back up through that 30 and try to get up here towards first this high 31.41, and then the next high that would be up here towards, let me put the level here, 34.71. Not a bad trade setup there for Macy's, but I don't want to get caught too much in this kind of wick action. I want to wait till it breaks out through that last high and gives you that continuation move. All right, that's going to do it probably for me. I got 3 more. Starbucks is a hangout, bros. Quick sling coffee. Yeah, the problem with the hangouts is that once, like, let's just be real. The hangouts aren't the same anymore. Even Starbucks, I have some Einstein bros down the street. They don't even let you sit in them anymore. Even though there's no restrictions or anything, you can walk in without a mask. They just don't even let you sit in them anymore. And I think it's going to change. I think this, especially this consumer, we like things fast. We want to go ahead, walk in, get a smile, get some good love. And that's what you get at Dutch Bros. You get some good love and you get your coffee and you get on out of there. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to wrap on up. Smash the like. I roll the Dutch Bros. Hey, Dutchies all the way, baby. Dutchies all the way. This is the only way, man. All right, Zen Bullish, you want me on Money Mitch, another BZ YouTube show? Is that what you mean? Hell yeah, we need Brett on here. I would love to have Brett on my show. All right, gonna go ahead and start wrapping up. TJ, can we take a look at some good shorts? Everyone is so bull. I'm a bear. Hey, well, TJ, I would say look in the software names. Those are the ones that I see, because in a rising interest rate environment, those are the ones that I think can continue seeing downside action. We talked about some of those charts like Upstart, Unity. Look at this chart. I like more like Snow. Snow looks kind of weak there. Charts like that, those are the ones that I'd be looking at. And of course, on downside action days, you could take a look at some major names to continue seeing that leakage. You can see here, like Lucid has been really weak, and it's why? Because EV is not in favor, and it could keep coming on down. We'll see what happens. Like always, make your own investment decisions. Just be happy. Always just be happy. All right, I'm going to go ahead up and wrap on up, guys. I hope you guys had a great day today. Robert in the house. Julie, what's up? What's up? Oh, Lord, look at them guns. All day, baby. All day. Let's go. You guys don't stop doing what you're doing, guys. I always trade. I always work hard. I'm always looking at charts. But one thing I always do after is always work on the body and the mind, not only just the mind. Go work out. Go enjoy your life. And go Miami Heat, baby. Let's see if we can get into the finals again. Lakers aren't there this time. Let's see if we can make it. All right, I'll also be watching, of course, my Rays this weekend. And next week, well, almost there. Wedding coming up on the 25th, so I'm super excited. I've been having a great show. I hope you guys had a great show. Let's keep going. Looks like the spam is in the chat. I got that. Don't worry. And I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I hope that you guys enjoyed the show today. Hit the like, hit the comments after. Let me know what you guys like about Money Mitch. Is it the patterns? Is it the fibs? Did you guys like me just going through tons of different stocks? Do you like sector and industry analysis? Let me know about it in the comments after the show.